Come here, Ray. A little closer. A little closer. There you go. And good evening, crafters. We are live. So, October 1st. Been a busy month. September was big. A lot of stuff going on. Hey, Nick. Good to see you, buddy. So, I'm going to quick do a review of the stuff that's gone on in September. We've got the Space Marines got a massive refresh, including new rules, new sub-chapter rules, new supplements. Iron Hands are now considered pretty OP. I've heard some ridiculousness from a couple different places. There was at least one gaming store I heard about that banned Iron Hands Leviathans, specifically from tournaments. Hey! How we doing, buddy?
Hello.
So, there's still 2 more coming that we know of. And, yeah, the Marines got a real hefty refresh. That's kind of a big deal. Psychic Awakening got announced, and we've started seeing what they're doing. They've started with the Eldar to start off with. Some of the Eldar prophecies coming to the forefront. New plastic Eldar. New plastic, like, Exarchs. And then this past week, we got to see the new Drazhar, Master of Blades.
The facial expression is because of the fact that just before this, they decided to watch the video on Reddit, where this one found it. And I cannot tell you how many times in the last 3 minutes I heard that said.
Drazhar, Master of Blades.
Drazhar, Master of Blades.
So you might witness an assault happening on live stream tonight, possibly 2.
Now remember, his name is not an actual name. It's simply a honorific, where in the Eldar language, Drazhar means the living death.
Living blade.
Living blades. Well, of course it means living blades, because he's Drazhar, Master of Blades.
There's not enough alcohol for this.
All right.
He's the living blade, Master of Blades.
Yes, exactly. I mean, he's a master blader. All right. So that being said, so that's going on with that. Age of Sigmar. Cities of Sigmar went on pre-sale today. Basically confirmed everything some of us have been saying since forever, that eventually everything is coming back. The Tomb Kings are coming back, just not as Tomb Kings. They're just a bunch of bone-covered armored guys, but they've still got a very Egyptian Aztec aspect to them. And I forget what they're called, but they're coming back. Those models look really cool. You've got the cities, which, I mean, they haven't even shown the Grail Knights yet, but I mean, they're showing, like, they show the free Captain General on a griffin, and he's just gorgeous.
Yeah. I want
yeah,
Bretonians.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get them back. The Bretonians will be back in some form. They may not be called Bretonians. Am I going to be making a War Cry board like I made for Kill Team? Absolutely.
What type of board would you like to see is the question.
Well, I've got some ideas, but I'm definitely open to some ideas, because I actually want to do not just the board, but I want to do a set of custom terrain. When I'm done with the Imperial Garrison that I'm building, We're going to be doing a War Cry board. I think that's next in line. Giving you guys a sneak peek for this week. Ray, can you hand me the tower? So we've gotten this far with the tower piece, just so people can see it. I've got the pieces that for the grading that I've already got them primed and ready to go. I've got my magnets in and the side pieces on, and we're going to start detailing. I'm going to be giving an instruction on how to build. I don't want to do an exact Aquila because, you know, that's not my own design. If somebody wants to just print an Aquila and trace it out and put it on there, they're more than welcome to. I'm actually just going to be doing a single wing with a skull on it, and I'm going to be doing 2 wings, 1 on each side. And I'm going to give instructions how to do that easily. So these towers, I'm thinking.
Ooh, I like that idea, Mike.
Realm of Beasts.
Let me do some research and I'll see what I can come up with.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I'm thinking, because some people were saying that these towers, I mean, they're taller than the battlements, but they're still a little short compared to the Imperial towers, which are like this tall. I don't have a bunch of dead space. So I'm thinking about sticking a like a turret thing that'll be like scattered around that you can put on there or on some of the other pieces that I'm going to be adding to this whole battlement. There's a bunch of things going on with it. So I'm talking about. All right, so that's going on at 40K and Age of Sigmar. War Cry. Thank you about the tutorials. Thank you. Hi to everybody, Mike and Mark and Reed. Yeah, this is great, guys. Good to see you.
Where's my
Inquisition? Speaking of War Cry, there was a big announcement with War Cry.
They're not Mythos or Freak. I'll be happy with either.
They made kind of an announcement about War Cry. There's a new book coming out, so that the. Hey, Henrik, how you doing? Heinrich, how you doing? I haven't seen him yet, but I'm sure shortly though. All right. Here's the thing. One of the things they're saying that they've got is a new book coming out, and supposedly the new book is going to make the cards unnecessary because there was a lot of complaints about supply with the cards. There's a lot of cards you can't get your hands on. I went and bought a bunch of the sets of cards right off the bat, like the first weekend. We bought like 3 or 4 armies right off the bat, even though we didn't have the figures. I said, hi there, Brush Liquor.
Except for I'm pretty sure Mike is referring to Mythos, not me.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a bunch of Brush Lickers.
Because remember, Mythos is the one who likes to lick his brushes before he starts doing it.
All right. So there's going to be that book coming out. They've got a new monster that looks like it's a what do you call it? It's a one-eyed giant Cyclops. That's the word. They have a new Cyclops figure, but they're calling it. It's related to the Fomorians. It's a really, really gorgeous model. I mean, I just kind of like it in its own. But it's going to be like Chimera. It'll be monsters made for use within War Cry.
Okay.
They've shown figures of one of the 2 bands. One of the 2 bands they haven't released yet. They've also showed a new Death War band. These vampire guys. They look really, really cool.
Have they shown the other 2 cast ones yet?
No, I said they showed figures for one of them.
Oh.
They showed one of the Masters of the Spire. And they look like the old classic, like the old 90s on Magoo with the big axe type, except they're bare-chested because they got to go with the whole Conan thing. But he's got the big Magneto-looking helmet with the slit in the eye hole in the middle.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a really cool-looking figure. He's got this gigantic, vampire warband. I mean, there's really just, but they have also said that the War Cry starter set, as soon as they get the 2 old armies out of there, the Beasts and the Iron Golems fully released. Now, I think they're out now. I'm not sure. But the War Cry starter set's going away. They're
Really?
Yeah, it was a limited release.
You're really surprised about that.
Yeah, I mean they did the same thing with Kill Team, and then they waited a year, and then they re-released the starter set for Kill Team. I'm betting they're going to do the exact same thing with War Cry, and it'll be a different set of terrain. It makes sense.
Yeah, but you need so much of the base set to play Warcry. It's
But everything's sold separately. That's the whole thing.
What does it say? I'm busy working on converting a giant what?
A giant into a member of the Unmade now. Mike, I like the way you think. The Unmade are my girls, my boys. I love the Unmade. They are my army. They are my. I mean, I saw them on. It's advertising the game. I'm like, this is cool. This is cool. This is cool. Then they showed the Unmade, and both of them went, "Oh God, don't let Dad see these." And I'm like, I must have. Yes, Cenobite. Yes. Hellraiser, one of my favorite movies, and gosh, they are Cenobites. I'm mad though. I will say there's one thing I'm mad about with them. One of the biggest things that pisses me off, until they make some changes to the rules, they're unaligned. They need to be Slanishites, and they're not. They
really
unaligned.
Are, I mean, considering that whole ultimate pain is ultimate pleasure is ultimate pain thing, and let me cut off my limbs so that I can better indulge in this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be over here.
They are so Slaneshi, and considering that, they very much have eyes. And that's the thing. I've been kind of messing with Age of Sigmar very little bit. I mean, we have the box set. She really likes the undead. She also really likes the Stormcast. I kind of like the Stormcast.
I also really like the Underseas elves. He really, really likes the steampunk.
I like the Caradon. I like the Caradon overlords. But let me tell you,
he found steampunk dwarves and.
But let me tell you, if I had my choice over anything, if I'm going to buy an army for Age of Sigmar, I want to do a Hedonites army. I really want to do a Hedonites army. I love Slaanesh. Slaanesh and Nurgle are what got me into the game back in the day. Even though I was playing elves, I was like, I wanted to make an elven army that would fall into Slaanesh. So that was,
So if you at all hear me snickering about the elves and all that stuff, blame this one. He's got me text-to-speech. I've been watching a lot of it, to the point that as I'm going to actually be partaking in a kill team tournament at a local store here in Milwaukee on the south side, I wanted a Custodes army. And I wanted a Custodes army so bad that I stole my son's Custodes. And I've got one half put together. He's primed. He's ready for painting, but that's whole. And did you hear the news that Marvel?
I'm going to let you.
We'll get back to that in just
a second. Let you finish your
Don't
sentence.
lose that thought process, my commissar. So now, whenever I think of the elves, I think of Major Kitten's.
She's made
General Kitten. So yeah,
100-point kill team. She's gonna have 3 guys. It's gonna be Kitten and 2 of the 3 strippers.
Yes, except for there's a high chance that I'm just gonna end up doing all 3 strippers because somebody wants his it's Custodes back.
I didn't say you can't use it. I'm just bringing up the fact that if you're going to use the Custodes, you need to use all 3 of them.
Custodes.
No, they're known as the Custodes.
They are.
Yeah, the 3 of them. The 3 of them are known as the Custodes. Yes.
I don't know. I was looking at their names.
Because they got to be oiled up.
Well, that and I figured out which one is Vegeta, by the way.
Yeah.
It's the leader.
Yeah.
It's the leader of the 3.
That is the other big announcement for Warhammer 40K. They are teaming up with Marvel. There is going to be Warhammer 40K comics produced by Marvel starting next September. We are going to see some serious stuff. Now, the thing is, I have mixed feelings on this. And I'll tell you why. Because if Marvel gets their hooks into them, are we going to actually see lore in these comics? Or are we just going to see them telling older stories? I'd like to see them cover, if they're going to do multiple titles, I want to see them do the Horus Heresy. I want to see them do the true Horus Heresy story from the perspective of Malkador. That is the story I want to see. I want to see how the Horus Heresy came apart at the seams. The Empire fell apart from the perspective of Malkador the hero.
I would like to also point out something else with them partnering up with Marvel.
What? Well, no, don't say that, because remember, there's an Einhorn TV series in the works.
Yes, but they're working with Amazon for that, right?
No. They're working with Netflix, I believe, and BBC One.
Slanesh the Disney Princess. No.
She can't be a Disney princess because she'd have to be a princess to begin with. She's not a princess.
Dude.
Or a prince.
Can you imagine a Disney cartoon of the Eldar?
Eat
them all. Eat them all.
Fulcrum becomes a Disney prince, though.
Well, technically, all of them.
No, specifically. I mean, yes, but specifically Fulcrum.
Because he's beautiful. He's. Oh my God.
Spider-Man is an angry Marine.
No, get out of here with your angry Marine. Jeez.
Do it.
Actually, okay. Now here's the thing. Okay, we're gonna quick touch on this, and then we're gonna get to what's on the bench. But I saw a conversion earlier this week.
Oh no!
Somebody did an Angry Marines Predator, the Rhino body tank, but they replaced the turret weapon with the Gatling arm out of a Knight. I think it's the Knight.
Why?
What is it? The Knight Paladin, the gigantic
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, they put it on there, and then in the sponsons, on the two sponsons, they put plasma decimators hanging out of the sponsons. So this thing was just, and they had freaking stubbers hanging all over this thing. It was the most beautiful, ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Beauty and the Beast Wolfen edition. You need to be.
You guys are your guys' friends.
Yeah, no, I agree. Eisenhorn's going to be on Netflix, and it's going to be good. It's going to be deep and dark. I agree, Heinrich. I'm looking forward to it because there's a lot of potential there. I think the Marvel-Disney partnership with Games Workshop, I think it's going to just be comics. I don't see them doing shows or anything. But I can honestly say, since I know they've already talked about there being another animated series, an animated Space Marine series, they could press Marvel's animation studios into that.
Yeah, I don't know.
As long as
I don't like
base
most of Marvel's animation, though.
I like the style. I don't like the story.
Yeah.
Steven is the mighty.
Yes.
Okay, then Rita, on that question, what's the coach?
Oh,
that's easy. Black Coach. Yeah.
Or it's pulled by rat ogres.
Yeah.
It's pulled by rat ogres.
Yeah.
Bibbidi bobbidi, you're a rat ogre now.
No, it's not Beauty and the Beast. It's Beauty and the Layman.
So what we got?
I volunteer for the part.
Well,
all right. We're on to part 2. We may come back to news more, but we're now going to go on to what's on the bench. What is on the bench today?
Way too much. Somebody went into a huge building phase.
Yes, I have seen Astartes. So it's really cool. Actually, I know the guy on Reddit. I spoke with him on Reddit. He actually recently released a official guide for painting, and with the new Space Marines rules, he actually released what his chapter information is, so they can you can actually build that chapter. It's really cool.
So what do we got on the bench?
So, let's start with number 1 on the bench. So we are building.
Another.
We are building our. We're building 2 armigers and a Castellium. So they have been built, primed, and the lead belcher has been base coated. So they're just lead belcher. That's all it's on them right now. They're going to get more. They'll be getting more later on. Ray here got from Spellcrow. He got a lot. Ray wants to build a major, primary, almost pure militarum, like pure militarum, not chaos. Not adept. Why can't I think?
As much as I love the Custodes, I don't really want to add the Custodes in because it takes up too much points.
Yeah, he's not doing soup. He's actually doing a pure militarum army. So he went with Spellcrow because they had a really big deal on some really gorgeous figures. They're selling basically 4 packs of 10 for what would have costed the same as 2.5 packs of regular Marines. I mean, regular Imperial Guard. So
not even 2.5, just 2. Yeah, just straight 2.
So these guys, I'm going to pull them out so you guys can see them.
It looks so good.
Spellcrow, I mean, as you guys know, I talked about Spellcrow. Oh, no, I haven't actually. I've talked about him.
Yeah, you talked about it on the...
I talked about the live stream. I talked about the live stream. That's right, I did do the packaging.
I haven't even seen the guns yet.
So we're going to hold these up. These are the Spellcrow. These figures are really nice because they're very simple.
Yeah. Welcome to the guards. Here's your red shirt. Have fun.
And the nice thing about it is basically it's 3 pieces. So no, there's not a lot of very different poses, but these pieces are very detailed.
In their resin.
So I mean, they're tough, but they're very light. And unlike Finecast, I've worked with their resin before. It takes glue really well. It's not a lot of pock marks. It's really, really clean. So you and I are going to sit down and build and paint these together.
Yeah.
And the helmets are, again, you'd be worried about when you're buying a large group like this. Hello, Martian. You'd be worried about with a pack like this that you're going to get the same pose over and over and over. But you're basically getting 5 separate poses. So the faces it's hard to tell with the camera, but the faces they are a little different, each one. It's a little different from each other. And because they're universal, Ray got some other parts he hasn't gotten delivered yet, but he got some from a couple different other companies.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to be building his 6 units. He's got basically 2 units of GW Marines, or Imperial Guard, and he's going to be adding these guys to them, so he's got a full set there.
I've got extra if you need more.
Extra what?
Extra what? Dude, the Imperial Guard is, as you know, the Imperial Guard is, we're going to buy a bucket of minis, and then we're going to buy another bucket of minis. And look, now I got 500 points.
Yeah.
So he is looking at doing a brigade-sized unit.
Which means I got to build either Hellhounds or Sentinels. And I'm looking at Hellhounds.
Now, here's the thing. I saw a lovely conversion. Somebody took a Chimera and using an extra cannon from a Lehman Russ and using a piece of PVC junction to add a hunk on the back and then a cap with some rivets on it. He basically converted a Chimera into a Hellhound. It's pretty good looking conversion. So I've got some ideas there on how we're going to do that. And since everybody knows how much I love doing conversions, and I've got an extra Chimera that I've got not any plans for because my Imperial Guard isn't going to use a Chimera. Yeah. My Imperial Guard is 32, basically 30 soldiers, 2 tank commanders, a Primaris Psyker, a couple commanders, and then another tank commander, and then some mortars, like a crap load of mortars, and then 3 knights. So I'm doing soup. So I got a Chimera that I got no use for. I don't have room or points for it, and I'm gonna hook the boy up. We're gonna make it. Dude, if you want to shove any Spellcrow Death Guard stuff my way,
You will use
I'll use every last bit of it. Because I say it again, wolves are my favorite. They are my home. They are my love. They are my life.
Yeah. But Death Guard, though.
Death Guard, though.
But Death Guard.
They're gross. I love them. They're gross. I mean,
you icky. That's why.
I am. I'm a
You icky.
Now here's the thing.
Old man.
Armies on Parade. I've been debating this and debating this and debating this. I am doing a board for my Death Guard for Armies on Parade.
I told him he needs to do Nurgle's Garden.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing.
He's finally listening to me. Folks, you heard it here. He's listening to me.
Well, it's not a garden.
Every time I have ever made a suggestion to him, I've been right. And every time he's dismissed me, he's been wrong. I would like to point out that this also applies to the Craft Guild Challenge 3 months in a row.
Oh.
I don't know.
All right, that being said. I'm not actually doing the garden, but I am doing a Death Guard theme. I'm doing a chapel that's falling down because I'm doing it as a pure display board. I'm doing it as a pure, it's not going to be a game board. It's going to be a pure display board. I basically want to have a spot for Mortarion, a couple vehicles, and a bunch of zombies in the swamp, and then my guys fortifying this decaying church. So, but I wish I could say that's all on my table. 40 of those guys, 3 nights. Still working on my girls. I got 7 more to finish the base 10. I got the tower working on. She finally finished most of her bikes. Did you finally finish up 3 of your bikes?
I need to finish up the last of the Reavers, and you need to
seal. We got to seal
you
everything.
have to seal them so that I can mount them and then add their coloration onto them. And
so she's got at this point 1,000 points of. Are you 500? No, 750. I think I figured out. She's got 750 points of. You got it. We'll talk. She's got about 750 points of Drukhari. She's getting closer. She's. Her vehicles are beautiful. I mean, there's a lot of people commenting. Her paint job on the vehicles is really pretty.
Wait, what?
Yeah, a lot of people commenting. And Mythos and Freak are actually got some shots of it that this Friday, hopefully, they'll be able to show on the as long as we don't come in and distract them from doing their show.
Or
again.
They start talking about bullies in the community again.
Now, that's another thing. I want to give a shout out to Frost and Fist, Mythos and Freak. Thank you so much for hosting me and the Lady Dragon. Guys, if you're one of my regular viewers and you're not one of theirs, you got to go over there. You got to watch this stuff. There are a couple of guys talking about gaming. Not just 40K, although 40K is a big part of it, but they're talking about gaming. And they're talking about regular people and what it is in the gaming life. And it's good stuff. It's good. It's good stuff. And they sneak in some tutorials here and there. And, there's decent content, good content. So, and I'm always about watching good stuff. Yeah. So if you're going to watch TV that does stuff for your brain. So YouTube.
That.
Yeah.
YouTube. TV for your brain.
All right. So.
Yeah, it's totally great for my brain.
It's the best.
Just finished watching through JoJo Part 1 and Part 2 again. I have a problem.
You are a problem.
I am not a problem. I have a problem. I am willing to admit when I have a problem.
So I have a problem.
Is it Death Guard?
No, Death Guard's not a problem. No, not Wolves either. I don't have a problem. I have 3,000 points. Either one of those built.
And what's your problem, Dad?
Now, when I get these guys built, I have 2,000 points of Imperial Guard built.
Jeez. I'm still like, what?
And you know what that means?
800, 900 points?
You know what that means? when we get 1,000 points of my Imperial Guard Soup army done. You know what that means, right?
What?
It's time for a new army.
See, like I'm at like 900 points with my guard because like.
Well, because he's slow building, and there's nothing wrong with that. And he wants to go pure guard, so he's got like 8,000 figures already. So he's got 800 points, maybe 900 points,
and like
so he wants to get a Baneblade. I'm gonna tell you right now, if he buys a Baneblade, we're gonna unbox that thing on the air,
and we'll probably Shadow Sword. That's
no. You're gonna buy a Baneblade. Because the Baneblade box now comes with all 8 variants in the box.
We're going to magnetize all of the variants.
And we are going to break out 800 magnets and make the Octoblade. On the air, we're going to make the Octoblade.
Half-painted Tyranids might be a problem.
Well, here's the problem. Half-painted Tyranids. If you need a paint scheme for your Tyranids...
You build Xenomorphs. Xenomorphs. We talked about this, Dad. I'm gonna build Xenomorphs.
Because that's my next army.
Oh, yeah. When we go build Tyranids.
Keep it up, and I may just, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at everybody.
No. Shadow Sword. Shadow Sword's the best.
He wants the Shadow Sword because he wants to be able to shoot Titans down.
We're gonna point at a Titan and delete it off a table.
Right, but you gotta have the ability to go flip, 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 which is why we're gonna build this thing with magnets. Stop. Your cards. Click, 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 click. All my plan.
My name is Mythos. Hi, Mythos.
Because I said so, not Dad. Yeah. Hey, Atomic Dog, good to see ya. Hey, now here's the thing. We all talk about having problems. We all talk about having a gaming problem. I saw a guy on Reddit today.
It's the healthiest problem.
And I got to give him a shout out. Because he's technically a professional collector. And when I say that, I want you to picture this room you see behind me. You see this bookshelves with all these shelves and all these books. And you see that there's this huge thing and this table and these people. Imagine all of that, but instead of any of that being gaming books or building room, those are box sets. Piles of box sets.
For
40K. And no duplicates. Just every box set possible. I sat there. He said he's probably spent over the last... There was a conversation from him. He said he's probably spent over the last 25 to 30 years of collecting, he's spent around $75,000 on box sets.
Has he painted them all?
I said box sets. Most of them aren't even assembled. They're the figures on the sprues in the boxes.
That's first world problem. Yes, that is.
Holy crap.
I'm going to say right now, this man should never announce where he lives because I could become a burglar. I'm a large, unagile man. And I'm telling you, burgle. I would find out when he goes to work. I would break in his house. And I would steal his house.
Every other gamer out there who was in need.
We'd have a U-Haul truck filled with love.
What are you going to leave in its place? Just IOUs?
No. Post-its. Fuck you, build them.
What would happen if you built them?
You wouldn't have gotten this problem if you built them and painted them. Because here's the problem. I see built and painted figures, and those are cool, and I don't want them. I want to look at them. Those are your figures. They're awesome. I don't want to touch them. I don't want to touch them. They're not mine. Those are your figures. Me. Gray plastic? Give it to me. I must have all the gray plastic.
Every bit of it.
I have painted since February around 10,000 points worth of figures. My goal for the end of the year, by the end of this year, is to have 3 fully functional 2,000-point armies with the ability to swap out pieces for Warhammer 40K and potentially one army, Age of Sigmar army.
Bye.
He'll be
Now
back.
you meet us.
Just go to AFK. He'll be back. So, hobby goals. We're here in Orktober.
Orktober?
Orktober.
Orktober.
This is Orktober.
Okay.
Or
We have-
Oystertober.
We have 3 months left in the year. We're in the final quarter of the year. Hobby goals. What is your goal, Ray?
Get anything done? I don't know.
Very cool. I'm going to show.
Doubt they're going to be able to see it tonight.
Oh, it's seeable.
I
My very talented wife.
It's
is-
backwards.
Yeah, it's backwards because I have the camera flipped on purpose. My very talented wife is working on a new logo for the channel.
Possibly some shirts. I don't know. That's
So-
getting ambitious.
There's my actual goal. And yeah, building figures would be great. I want. Yes, Gobble
Oh,
Santa.
shut
We'll come back to him. I do have a goal though, is I want to become a better YouTuber. So I gotta up my game. I want to be able to put in. I want to be able to put in a bumper. I want to be able to put in like a promo to before we come into here. So something that plays before we come on. I want to have a closing screen for my live casts. I want to make this look more than, you know, some random joker on the internet turning on his camera and yelling at the screen for an hour and a half. So I've got to get better at my video upping game. So I got to do some more studying. I got to do some more YouTube channels and learn more. So I'm gonna hit up a couple of YouTubers I know. I'm gonna hit up Freak and Mythos about how they do it. Add some structure to the show.
Apparently somebody sent something to Ray.
Yes. The commissar has sent me an image of their Tyranids. I thought you should see.
That is very cool. Nicely done. That's another thing I'd like to be able to do. I want to know, I got to learn more about this so when people send pictures in, then I can flip up the screen and you guys can see these pictures. I'm not just here sticking stuff in front of the camera. I want,
Badly.
yeah, I want to be able to,
Fades out.
I want to be able to pop things up for you guys to see, things I can share with you. So I gotta up my YouTube game. So, and you guys coming in, giving me comments, giving me questions, giving me tips, giving me direction. What do you want to see? What do you want to hear about? This is going to help me make a better channel for you.
Like, how do you paint white?
That has been asked. I had a tutorial I got to do because I paint a mean white.
Yeah. I've heard that from a lot of YouTubers.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, which is why I kind of committed to this Tuesday thing, because Tuesday I used to do a lot more during the week gaming. I've actually had to cut back on it due to her health and due to wanting to focus on other things. So, and that's why I committed to Tuesdays. I'm like, Tuesdays is a good day. It's not Monday. You're not bombed out. I can watch my football on Mondays. It's all good. But Tuesdays, you know, we can do stuff. So pick an hour and a half. I get 7:30. We come on. We go until 9. If we run late because we're having a good conversation, that's fine. But 7:30 to 9 at the minimum.
Something I thought I should bring up because I've heard a few people say it. Having a backlog, like having like videos that you've gone and done a video and then put it up and then like have a schedule for when stuff goes up. So like if you have to be gone for like a week, having that sort of stuff in preparation.
That'd be great. That'd be great to have a backlog. I'd have to have time.
Sure.
And the problem is that
We have 2 teenagers, 3 cats, 2 dogs, and a rabbit in this house, and only 1 working adult.
There's Two working adults. Thank you. I do.
He contributes to the house.
I do too.
He does. Yeah, because he's a good boy. Yeah, he's a good boy. He needs to do more work around the house.
I mean, you know.
but he admitted that. So you guys got him. We got him.
We have him on camera.
So yeah. So that's why I try. Yeah, the mom's got to be that. But that's why I try to make sure I do a tutorial. I release my tutorial every week on Sunday.
Yeah.
I've had sometimes because of compiling issues, I've had to push it back to Monday. But I try to make sure I get every Sunday new video, every Tuesday new video. And I basically use a couple nights during the week to finish the build when I can. I'm hoping with this guide for this tutorials for the fortress I'm building. Oh, we got to team up against Mom, because if we don't, she'll kill us in her sleep.
Yeah.
You don't know her.
Speaking of which, there's another suggestion.
So speaking of killing me in the sleep, that's really good. I'm hoping with my fortress videos, I'm actually going to get a backlog of a couple of weeks, because I mean, the first part was actually 2 weeks. The 2 videos was actually 1 weekend's worth of filming. I just realized when I was done, I got 2 videos worth of content here. That was another thing I had to learn. I can't do, if you look at some of my early videos, I've got 45-minute and 50-minute tutorials. I got to break them up. I can't have them go more than half an hour, and I try to keep them to 15 minutes when I can.
Yeah, you got to...
Because this is the ADD generation and the instant gratification generation. I mean, I'm part of it too. If I turn on something and I don't like what I'm seeing in 30 seconds, I change the channel. I'm no different.
5 minutes.
You know, I don't like it. Let's go. Next.
So another thing you might want to look at.
Yeah.
What I was thinking, almost like I was thinking like a discussion kind of thing, or like bringing up a topic and doing that as a video itself, along with the tutorial. So you have like you would have 3 videos.
Well, I do, but the problem is I usually do those. I honestly have those. They're my GameCraft and my editorials. Yeah. The problem is I do those on weeks I don't have anything else to talk about or do, and I got a backlog right now.
Yeah, I would think just like
I got a backlog.
That's why I bring it up, because like 3 videos a week, it would be like you have the tutorial, you have the live stream, and you have the discussion. Discussion doesn't take a lot of work. You just like, even if it's just like you and someone else talking. I mean, like, if you want to bring me down for that, that could be something to do.
Yeah, doing a round table wouldn't be bad. And she's looking at me like going, what do you?
Well, if you'd like, on live stream, I can point out all the flaws of said thing that would need to be talked about.
But there's things, but it's something to talk about then. That's something to talk about. Let's talk about it.
Can you guess who's in charge of the household? Not him.
I just live here, man.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right. So, Santa Goblin. Funny figure. A cool looking funny figure. Instead of the dwarf that they do every year, this year they're doing a goblin. It's a cool looking figure. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to get hate for it. Don't care. I don't paint figures for the fun of painting figures just for themselves. I don't mind painting figures, but I want to have a use for them. I built and painted a Belisarius Call because I was planning on doing an AdMech army instead of this Imperial Guard army I'm doing.
And then you built
I built the Imperial Guard army because this one had the most funny idea that was like, well, I got to build a level 32. Well, we could do this. Well, how about this?
And they built an entire army.
And it ended up being a 2,000-point army. So
then there are the 2 kill teams of Marines that I have proposed doing. One of them is based on, well, they're all going to have white chest plates.
White gloves. Blue body suits.
Yeah. One has to be bald. He's really big and he's bald and he is hilarious and you'll quote everything he says.
But he will have a mustache.
Yeah, he has to have a mustache.
They want to make...
And they're going to be called Team 5-Star. Because I have to.
And
then there are the ones that I want to do an entire Marine Corps wearing that looks like they've got crystalline power armor on.
And
And then
their
what-
captain is going to be pink with a yellow star on his chest. And if you don't get the reference, that's okay. But if you do, because the beauty about Kill Team is that you can build armies just for the fun of it. Because what the hell? It's 6 figures. It's 8 figures. I mean, hell, I thought about doing a Tyranid kill team. I thought about doing a Tyranid kill team, and I was going to paint them up like ladybugs.
No, it's Steven Universe.
No, it's Steven Universe. It's a cartoon. If you don't follow
He's talking about Frozen, how he's got the blue bodysuit, the
Yeah,
white chest,
yeah,
and white gloves.
yeah, no, we're building the Saiyans from Dragon Ball Z.
Bridge.
Dragon Ball, yes, abridged. We're gonna
Very
do,
specifically.
and she wants to do the Steven Universe group. I've got a couple ideas. I
In all
mean,
honesty, I wasn't really trying to make the Steven Universe Crystal Gems. I just had this thought because at one point, Happy Away here ran a tabletop game out of the GURPS. What was it? Shadowrun?
which game?
The one with the aliens in the crystal.
I did that in GURPS.
All right. So anyway, it was in GURPS, and he had this entire race of aliens that grew sentient crystal that was used for armor, for weaponry, for circuitry. And so the idea was that you have this group of Marines that happened to come across said technology and adapted and got their armor infused with this, so they have this crystalline power armor for the Marines.
Now, the worst thing about it is I'd want to do that as a Death Watch kill team, so I can explain all their armor and weapons as being heretical Xenos gear.
I mean, yeah, fair.
That's fair.
I mean, yeah,
Wouldn't
that's
have to destroy it. then?
No, that's what the Death
no,
Watch
no,
does.
it's a well, okay.
That's what the Death Watch does.
Yeah.
They use heretical Xenos gear to fight Xenos.
I mean, yeah, then they have to destroy it afterwards, technically. Yeah, right. Sounds
That's
like
kind of what I was just thinking, Nick.
it
That
is
sounds
heresy.
an awful lot like
But
heresy.
that's kind of what the Death Watch does.
That is what Death Watch does.
That's why Death Watch is the best of the RPG systems.
On the other hand, it wouldn't be also bad to do a bunch of Grey Knights in the same way. Because Grey Knights sucked for 40K as far as the big game goes, but in Kill Team, they are top tier. They are absolutely top tier.
At least
If you're
still top
in
tier.
here,
Absolutely.
if you're watching this, that is totally at you, Ben.
I mean, any army that can do 2 smites a turn, here, have some mortal wounds. Screw you, have some mortal wounds.
Oh, wasn't that enough? Oh, here, how about some help?
Yeah.
Didn't you fight a guy with like 3 that had only 3 Grey Knights in their army
No, he
in
was
the,
he
in the
was
kill team?
no, he was right. He had 5 Grey Knights because that's what you fit on his team, and he whooped my ass.
How do you think I felt?
He came in 2nd place.
The only reason I lasted as long as I did against him is because of that power from pain thing.
Grey Knights are top tier in friggin' Kill Team. I love Kill Team. I really do. I really love Kill Team because you can build an entire army for 1 box of figures, and if you mix and match, you can build like several different armies. Plugging it, Wisconsinites, Milwaukeeans, hit me up on either Facebook or Twitter or whatnot. I'll get you the details. At the end of October, there is going to be a Kill Team tournament, 100 points, elites allowed. There's a $5 buy-in, and it's going to be awesome because they're using Adepticon. Great, I care about. They're using
I have to make that now.
Yeah, they're using Adepticon 2019 rules. It's going to be a lot of fun. The guy who's running it is a regular viewer. He's a good guy. I love to see it. I'll be honest, I'm right now torn between running my bronze medal winning Space Wolves, since the guy running it is the one who ran the Grey Knights last time, and that's who beat me. So
His wife has the Grey Knights. Also, fun fact, because I had this exact same question, was you don't actually have to announce what your army is until right before you start playing.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. What do you plan for me? Plan for me. I'm bringing it. I'm bringing my knives.
See it?
Knives out.
I don't know, man. I'm still.
You got time to build a new army?
No, it's just to kill. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
You like War Cry?
Yeah, I did like War Cry. I like War Cry a lot. I
There's
just
a lot less shooting.
yeah.
War
and
Cry's
I don't like how micromanaging the kill team felt,
Hey, that's fair.
and
Not-
like how specific everything. I don't know.
Not every game is for every person, and that's the joy of Warhammer Games Workshop, because they have games for everybody. I mean, I have no interest in playing it, but man, the whole Underworlds, Shadespire, Beastgrave, the game looks fun. I don't want to play it, but it looks really good. Blackstone Fortress, man, I kind of want it. It's kind of a heavy buy-in, but it's a board game. It's not really a minis game, but it kind of is. So I kind of want it.
I only want Blackstone Fortress for the Ratlings. That's all I want it for.
Actually, the game's supposed to be really good.
I mean, fair. No, I'm not saying it's not.
They ran a demo of it the other day, a couple weeks ago, over at GU when we were doing the escalation, actually.
But I want those Ratlings.
Well, your money. You're buying.
I don't want to buy the box set.
Yeah. But that's a really great army. A really good game. Necromunda. Man, I don't know if Necromunda is the Necromunda of old. I'll be honest. I haven't played Necromunda in forever. But I'll be damned if I don't love these figures. I mean, when I saw these figures, we were looking at 3 different armies. I'm like, we got to figure out a way to use these guys for Imperial Guard or something. There's one group I want to use if Chaos Cultists didn't suck so much. There's one group I want to use as a group of Chaos Cultists for my nerdlings. Yeah.
What?
Actually, the whole reason they ended up getting used was because I was talking about using potentially Sisters of Battle for a female-centered, similar group to the wolves, because wolves are awesome and girls aren't allowed to be Marines because girls are icky.
Girls are icky.
Which
I'm telling you.
that has an entire different continuity, context, and conversation that I do actually have. Yeah, I was rewatching something. Anyway, something about broken bones and blood and
yeah.
You know, if girls are so icky, how come he enjoys them so
much? They're icky to fight with.
Whatever. Anyway, and so the idea of using the girls from Necromunda, because, well, you're kind of limited on female figures in from Citadel.
But we're going to be taking, I mean, we've already talked about the Psyker that she built and made, and how gorgeous that is to replace the Primera Psyker. And we're going to be taking Inquisitor Greyfax and turning her into Castellian Creed.
So you are going the Cadian route.
I am going Cadians. Of course they're Cadians.
Yeah.
They're Cadians. Let's
And
shoot.
she's a redhead, and slappings will continue until morale improves.
Right. Oh, all right. So there's that. Let's talk about gaming on a whole. What do you mean, man? Reaper Bones. Reaper Bones 5 Kickstarter kicked off today. One of the best minis Kickstarters in the world. They've already proven with the previous 4 that it is amazing. There's a $120 buy-in on the Kickstarter. The goal is to get to $30,000 on the Kickstarter to be able to pay for everything they need to pay for. They went live yesterday, and in 24 hours, they're at just under $1 million pledged of their $30,000 needed. So once again, it's going to go off. If you're a mini person and you like D&D figures and you like minifigures, It's a really good kit. I suggest it's one of the few Kickstarters I can go without question and go do it. Reaper does quality stuff. For if you're a D&D player, if you're a board player, any type of RPG player, definitely worth getting. They've got a dragon as one of the big figures in this set this year. They've got a group of elven warriors that look gorgeous. So really, really good set. So all right, Atomic Dog, good seeing you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Really do appreciate you for coming by. So yeah, if you're a mini painter, I mean, this is a great way to get a lot of different figures. So you're not just painting the same 10 figures 20 times over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great opportunity. I can't say enough good things about Reaper. The Bones set are a really great way to expand your tabletop gaming stuff. Let's see, what else have we been talking about lately in the gaming world? Next month, there's a new major expansion coming out for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. It's a new guide that's going to have a whole bunch of new monsters and a whole bunch of new information. It's right up there with the Volo's Guide to Everything, which kind of revamped and refreshed the system.
Yeah.
I play a once a month, actually it's a once every other month because it alternates with my Zombie Apocalypse game. I play in a once a month weekend long D&D game, and they've been talking about it every weekend I'm there, so that's kind of a big deal. TSR is kind of killing it with D&D 5.
Yeah.
It's got its issues, but I think it's a good system. All right, Heinrich, you have a wonderful, wonderful night, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Let's see.
I've been trying out Chronicles of Darkness a bit. That's the new WOD. New World.
Oh, the New World of Darkness setting,
which is not new, but it's new. It's newer, and it's not as. So it got a lot of flack when it came out. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Like, legitimately, Hunch of the Vigil is a great system. Werewolf the Forsaken is pretty good. Vampire the Requiem is.
It's Vampire. It's still Vampire.
But Changeling the Lost might be. It's with Hunch of the Vigil level of might be the best change, because in my opinion, Changeling the Dreaming was.
I found it quite unplayable. So that's good. That's good to hear. I mean, gaming is always good. Shadowrun 6th edition came out in the last couple of weeks, and the overwhelming reviews are in. Do not buy it.
Yeah, no.
Everything I've heard, everything. Now, I'm a big Shadowrun guy, but the problem is I've been playing since 1st edition, so I like 1st edition. I liked it. I thought it was fine. I love 2nd edition. I think I got a little bit of 3rd edition table back on the shelf back there. And then I bought the first WizKids edition, which I think is 4th.
Yeah.
I haven't played 5th or 6th. 4th was fine. 4th was already getting to the point where there's getting to be too much.
Yeah, 4th is okay. 5th is, in my opinion, not a well put together system.
And 6th is absolutely horrible. So yeah, let's we need to give that feedback to gaming companies. Creating an edition to generate cash without properly play testing it, reviewing it. I mean, as Warhammer players, when they put out a codex, the amount of salt that comes out because something wasn't tested, because there are things that players come up with, like the whole Iron Hands unhittable army that with the 5-up invul bubble. I mean, and the ability to buy a relic now. I learned about the relic too. There is a relic out there.
Oh no!
That you can put on a character, that you can specifically put on a character Dreadnought. that with a stratagem, if built properly, you can take a Redemptor Dreadnought, make it a character. So it's got a 2-up armor save with a 5-up invul save. Now, hang on. Anything attacking it, anything that hits it, damage is halved. So if it's a 4 damage weapon, it's not a 2 damage weapon.
What?
And then the relic reduced the damage by 1.
What?
So you could sit there with laser batteries pounding a freaking Redemptor Dreadnought, and every time you're hitting it, you might as well be hitting it with a flashlight.
Yeah, see no way, absolutely no way that could even be remotely possible. Yeah, no.
Well,
No way.
there's a really funny army list that was
Oh no.
that I was
Please
talking about.
don't.
There was an army list that was flipping around Reddit's Warhammer 40K and Warhammer Competitive
Mm-hmm.
that came out with the Iron Hand. The people came up with when the Iron Hands came out. Now, here's the thing.
This is the one you showed me the other night.
An Orc army or a Tyranid, anything really, really super horde based would probably beat the crap out of it just by shots on and bodies on army. But it had Iron Priest Pharos, a captain that you turned into a chapter master, and then the Phobos librarian. You got 3 squads of 5 infiltrators, a unit of eliminators that you've perched way in the back.
Yep.
And then 3 Redemptor Dreadnoughts and 3 Redemptor Relic Dreadnoughts. I forgot that's what they're called. Yeah. So you got 6 Dreadnoughts.
And the whole point is...
Well, here's the thing. You keep the 6 of them together by Iron Priest Pharos. Now, here's where the salt comes in. Because you start off with 3 for being 3 command points plus 6.
We'll grab water real quick.
Go ahead. So you spend, so you take 2 command points, you make your captain a chapter master. I don't remember why they did that, but it ended up being pretty integral. So you turn the guy into a chapter master, and then you take your next 6 command points, and you turn each of the dreadnoughts into a character. Then you take your 3 groups of infiltrators and put them in boxes, so they have no LOS to them. But since they can be immediately put out 9 inches from the other deployment zone, you can put them so far forward that they are most assuredly the most front closest unit to your enemy. And now you can't target the dreadnoughts. So now you've got 6 dreadnoughts that have got the twin lasers and twin autocannons, I think it was, or twin missiles, but they're basically double heavies. And because they can move, yeah, I mean, against a super low model count army, it's absolutely just breaking, because you've got 6 dreadnoughts that can strike from across the table, re-rolling 1s, moving and shooting, 5-up invul save, and they can't be targeted except by snipers. And snipers are going to bounce off them. That's messed up. And you use that, and again, it has something to do with the chapter master, put something else on them too. So, I mean, it's just wrong. And then if anybody has a sniper unit, you're using the eliminators to wipe out their sniper units. And it's just, I mean, against a low to moderate army count, I mean, it's absolutely just crusher. Now, again, somebody went and did the numbers and went, yeah, but the Orc Shock Attack army, there's a new Orc army list that's showing one that has a bunch of shock attack guns and a bunch of the tractor guns in it. and those seem to do okay. I mean, just by the straight numbers, they'll do okay. And apparently, the Tyranids, there's a Tyranid horde list that's just gross to deal with, no matter what the army is, unless you've got lots of mass assault weapons.
Yeah.
Lots of shots on body. That just it's hard to deal with because once they get up on the dreadnoughts, yeah, they can attack, but they're not really meant for melee, and it eliminates all their guns. So there's a real weakness there.
I want to fight some Tyranids.
I want to play some Tyranids. I want to play some Tyranids, but I gotta build my armies first.
Dude, when I built my Imperial Guard army, the image I have in my head still to this day was putting down my Imperial Guard army and seeing an army with the same amount of minis on the other side of the table of Tyranids.
Yeah, I kind of want a Custodes army. I want to do that 22 model Custodes army that I saw in Winter's SEO. With 2 Sicurian tanks and then the mini tank, and then yeah. But like all true 40K players, unless you're one of those guys that only wants one, I only want one faction. I want it all. I'm like a kid in a candy store looking at 40K, and I want some of this, and I want some of this, and I want some of this.
I want to build my true Lunables. Dude, they're going to be
awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. I know I want to get a new starter box just because I'm going to use all those figures to build up the rest of my Death Guard and fill the caps I've got left. And then I want to use that Marine to come out of that box. You know, Mike, I got to agree with you there. I mean, War Cry is really good. You know, you start off with the 2 sets in the starter set. Ray really liked the Beast Lords or whatever they're called.
Oh, yeah, the Untamed Beast.
The Untamed Beast. So he took that army to build as his own. They're technically mine, but he painted them. That's fine. Hey, they're technically mine, but you're allowed. Those are your guys to play. I started off with the Iron Golems, and I didn't like the paint job, so they went back into the simple green. I've now got them reprimed.
I'm looking at the new ones that you were talking about.
I want to build an Orc army. I want to build a Savage Orc army. But we've got a Night Hunt army that we're building. We got actually 2 separate Night Hunt armies we're building with 2 different configurations. We've got the Stormcast army that we're building. We bought the Gloomspite kits are really nasty. I keep hearing how broken they are. Here's my problem. I don't actually like the models.
Which are the Gloomspite? Are those
the ones on the ones on the big mouthy ball meat things? The goblins on the goblin.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of them. I know they're really good. Don't get me wrong. I know they're really good. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of the models. And again, that goes back to me. Rule of cool is number 1 with me. Yeah, Squigs. Their number 1 rule with me is rule of cool. That has always been my number 1 rule. I did not choose an army because they were the coolest looking army. I mean, I didn't choose an army because they were the best army. Let me correct myself. I never chose an army because they were the number 1 best built army in the game. I've never been that guy. I want the coolest looking army. When I saw Space Wolves, I'm like, that's boom, that's what we're playing.
That's always with Imperial Guard.
Space Wolves for me are my number 1 love. I love nastiness though, and when I got to see when 8th edition came up, the new Death Guard casts and the new Death Guard figures, I'm like, these are disgusting. They're so gross. I have to build them all. And I did, thanks to him and my wife. I literally have every single character figure out of that set except for one.
Who you missing?
The Chaos Champion. The one that's got the Nurgling with the helmet on at his feet. I never got him because he's just a Chaos Champion. He's not really that big a deal. It's a cool figure, and I wouldn't mind picking him up someday. But he's not high on my list.
Night Lords are cool, but they never get any minis. The Night Lords are cool, but they don't get any of the.
Yeah, if you want to do Night Lord looking figures, you have to go with the upgrades either from Forge World or the upgrades from Spellcrow. Spellcrow actually has some pretty cool Night Lords upgrades.
That's fair. But yeah, like, hey, when Games Workshop releases a new, oh my god, he has lightning claws and a backpack He's a Night Lord, right? No, he's Black Legion.
Now, I do gotta say, I was thinking about this earlier, and I made a statement earlier, and I realized I'm wrong.
Oh?
That I don't build figures because they're just cool and paint them. I do, actually. I have a couple very specific figures that I would do that with. And you know what made me think that?
What?
Because I have a very, very good friend of mine that is in the channel right now. And I totally forgot because I'm actually looking to spend some time to actually do a really, really awesome paint job on this thing. My very good friend Nick, as a thank you, gave me the limited edition Noise Marine that they did last year. So that is a figure I have always actually wanted. I'm actually really, I was really stoked about that figure because it's such a gorgeous figure. And I want to make sure I do it justice. So I do some figures just for the heck of it, and that's going to be one of them. And eventually I may do a full Emperor's Children Chaos Army, although I'm kind of not wanting to because my child, his sibling, is in the midst of painting, and she's almost finished with the first squad of Chaos Marines.
Didn't stop you from doing Imperial Guard.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Your Imperial Guard are a bunch of dudes. Mine are a bunch of hot punk rock chicks.
Doesn't change the fact that it didn't stop you from building Imperial Guard.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That figure is such a gorgeous figure. Puppets War. Yeah, actually, I was looking at their stuff.
Oh?
They're another mini site like
Spellcraft?
Like Spellcraft.
Okay.
There's a couple really, really good sets. Where is the one that you got those original heads from? Was that
I don't know.
Victorian?
I think it was Victoria Minis.
Yeah, Victoria Minis.
I mean, the heads were okay.
They're great. I think they're pretty cool.
They just don't fit the bodies very well.
Well, they might fit these a little better.
They might.
So yeah, I mean, and I gotta say, I'm a recent convert. I used to be one of those guys that's like, I'm playing 40K, I'm using Games Workshop minis. And I was pretty much all about it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna use, oh, that's really cool. Now I'm gonna use a 40K figure. That's a really cool looking figure. Now I'm gonna use 40K.
Scales.
Yeah, okay. Then that's what you were saying. The scale seems off a little bit. And that's the thing. I used to be one of those guys who's like, no, I only use 40K and I'll use 40K bits and I'll convert. And I have to honestly say, Nick at IDIC Beer converted me. Sending me a bunch of that Spellcrow stuff, so I got it in my hands. I got a chance to mess with it and build some stuff. And holy crow, the detail in that stuff, the beautiful sculpts.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous. I mean, again, looking at these guys right here, these torsos and these guns, you know, you wouldn't think for a single piece chest and arm, you would not think this piece is going to have as much detail as it is. These are really, really, really nice. Those pants are really, really good. And was really nice for buying that huge box of figures. They actually threw a bits pack in there with a bunch of extra bits in there.
Yeah.
Just various scribbles and stuff. But the one thing I noticed is they threw a pack of their Savage chests that you would stick on your Space Marines to make Wolfen. You use regular Space Marine legs, you put those chests on them and buy the werewolf heads, and suddenly you've got Wolfen. Those are really, really nicely detailed. You know, Mike, I would debate you on that. I would say they make different Death Guard than GW. I really love, don't get me wrong, I love Spellcrow's Death Guard stuff. I absolutely, absolutely love it. I absolutely love Games Workshop's new Death Guard as well. I'm sorry, Steve. Steve is gorgeous.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I like the Spellcrow stuff more when that comes to. I like your Spellcrow minis. Like, I don't know.
And that's the thing. I like them both. I can't lie. I like them both. I love the whole new aesthetic. And that's the thing. If that's the look you're going for, because I don't mind the mix. That's why I like kind of mixing them and matching them with GW pieces. Because I like the mix of the rusty. Now, there's another company out there, and I'm trying to remember the name of them. They do a set of figures. They don't do really bits, but they do like all new figures. And they did a set of alternate sculpts for the Tau that they call the Greater Good. And they,
oh God,
yeah, the mix is what makes them the best. There's a set of figures. No, I'm not talking about the naughty, because they do a lot of pin-up figures too. But they're actual, just their female fire guard is what they call them. They're actually really cool looking figures. I would want to get a pack of them if I ever do Tau, just so I can tell who the hell my sergeants are. Because God dang it, I tried to build Tau. I tried to build a single 10-pack of Tau. I can't tell Tau apart. War Games exclusive. Thank you, Mike. I can't tell the difference. I honestly cannot tell the difference between Tau figures. I have a friend of mine that loaned me like 3,500 points of Tau because he's not playing right now. And I mean, I set down a handful and put them on the table, and I'm like, they all look the same. The weapons all look the same. And I'm like, well, let me build my own, and then I'll get to know them better. They all look the same. I love the aesthetic of the Tau. I really do. I love the whole anime fighter look, but I can't tell them apart.
Nah, man. Tau are heretical.
They're heretical.
They should be purged.
But again, I love every. The Tau considering a giant Benry back to be bad strategy. Well, I mean, let's talk about the Tau that way. The Tau don't do anything cool. They don't have any cool symbols of skulls or wings on their armor. And they don't wear flashy banners or carry flags or have any extra awesome ornamentation on their vehicles. They're just sleek lines. And first off, they don't engage in glorious melee combat. You know, there's reasons to hate the Tau. You can, Tau shoot. They sit back and they shoot.
They're space communists.
No, that's the whole thing. No, here's the thing. Somebody pointed out to me they're the Americans. They really are the Americans.
No, they're not.
I didn't think they were either.
No, they're not. They're space communists.
They're big guns. But here's the thing. Again, they're great figures. They look great. Gosh, that Storm Surge, and I mean the Riptides, and those figures, they're pretty. I just can't tell them apart. And I guess maybe if I played them more, I could. But here's the thing. Somebody takes 10 Marines and throws them on a table. Well, these guys got guns, and he's got a knife, and he's got a chainsaw, and that guy's got something that looks like a rocket launcher, and that guy's got a big different gun. So that must be what? Plasma? Belta? That's another gun. They look different weapons. Yeah, and that's the thing. You look at like the Coordinate Berserkers. I mean, chain glaives, chain axes. You know what's going on with that army. Yeah, they'll look the same.
They drop a unit of guys with chain axes.
You know what they do.
But when you put down a Tau unit and you're like, oh, this guy has a special weapon. These guys all have a normal weapon.
And let me put their frisbees around them.
Wait, that's a special weapon that looks like the other guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a special weapon. But that's a scope. Yeah, that's why it's special. That's a scope.
And orcs. Well, I got an orc kill team I'm working on right now. It's one of the things I wanted to get done for October. I think the orcs are great.
No, they don't, Nick. You're wrong. They've already been bayoneted into the ground by that point. They have met our trench line, and they have been bayoneted into the ground.
Here's the thing. I'll take my Marine and throw his gun down, and you take your Tau and you throw your gun down, and let's meet in the middle of the battlefield and settle this like men.
Nah, they'll snipe you.
But that's what I'm saying. Because they have no honor.
I mean, yeah.
They have no honor.
This is why the Imperial Guard are superior to the Tau.
Except the fact that Tau's guns do a lot more damage.
We don't need to do more damage. We'll throw more men than they do. They will run out of ammo before they kill us all.
They aren't men. They aren't men. They are Xenos. They're blue fish-faced vagina
Space
nose.
communists.
Space communists. Yes. Made a commando from an Ogren. That'd be kind of cool. I'd like to see that. I actually found my Ogren. I have an old metal.
Gimme.
I found an old metal bonehead that I'm going to paint up. And I want to use him for kill team. Well, you can use him for kill team then.
But I don't want to play kill team.
Well, he's only one dude. He's no good by himself.
I could make him the name dude.
He's got a gun.
Yeah, I make him the name dude.
It's hooves. Don't forget the hooves. Ugh.
Freaking Tau.
Yeah, they'd be cooler if they had horns.
And they'd just be Draenei.
And I'd be okay with that. Because then I could roleplay them as Draenei. Roleplay my army. That's the battle line moving up.
What you need to do is make Kroot and paint him up as predators. You need to Kroot Yajita. Make an entire kill team of that and put that against a Tyranny kill team. Boom. We have AVP.
Now here's the thing. If I'm gonna do a Yajita, I'm going to actually go get some of the bits from the AVP game and put them on some Space Marines.
I don't know, man. You can't.
Yeah.
They're too big and bulky, though.
No, not if you put them on Phobos armors, an entire team of Reavers.
They're still too big and bulky. I'm telling you, you want them on Kroot.
War Cry, Necromunda, Blood Bowl. How is the newest version of Blood Bowl? I'm an old school Blood Bowl player. I played first edition. Ray, go grab my Blood Bowl book off the thing here. The yellow book right there.
Oh, Blood Bowl Star Players.
Yeah. I mean, to give you an idea here.
This book is older than I am.
This book's a lot older than you are. I love Blood Bowl. That's what I thought. I got, because I remember second edition kind of messed things up. And I bought the video game, and the video game seemed like it was like this version of Blood Bowl. So I love the game. I mean, I was in a league for like 3 years. We did 4 full seasons in that league. And we did 16. Yeah, the video game is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
2 are Chaos Edition, because both are pretty good. I think I prefer Chaos Edition personally, but I don't know which is more accurate.
But this is a very 90s. This is a very 90s. A Games Workshop book.
Fucking older than me, man.
Yeah. And it's in better condition than he is.
Hey, dude, that's just not right. I feel personally attacked.
It's better than you are.
Better than you are.
Hey, but I'm old and fat. I'm like a compendium.
You're the worst.
All right, we're coming up on. We got about 5 minutes left, so let's talk about the future. What do we got planned for the future? What do we want to do? Oh yeah, and I had the companion book too. So I had both the 2 main rule books for the original game. I want to point out, for those of you that Games Workshop has always had even when they were the old metal minis, they have had some great figures. This thing was so much fun, and the female cheerleader, the elven cheerleaders, this is just such a all the dwarven cheerleaders. This was a fun game. So I mean, that's why one of the reasons I bought the video game, because the video game was $10 and I got to play that again. So great game. Reason I'm asking is I've been thinking about picking up the new game, if for no other reason than I don't have a game board for it anymore. And I've been thinking about maybe doing a demo, doing a demonstration or an instruction on how to build your own custom Blood Bowl board. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're doing kill team boards,
I don't know what I play for.
you can play anything. You can play Bretonians.
I mean, I can't be a bunch of knights. Can't run around as a bunch of knights. Wait,
Yeah,
are you serious?
Yeah, the Bretonians are a faction.
Like, I can be...
They're totally a faction.
I thought they were like it was all like their militia dudes. I didn't realize their knights could be on the kill team board. I mean, not the kill team, the fucking Blood Bowl board.
Yeah.
Because that's ridiculous.
They don't get their horses.
Damn it.
They don't get their horses. But they're in full knights with the full helmets and everything. They're hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah, the Dwarven cheerleaders were so great. I actually have somewhere in one of my boxes, I think I still have the Orcish cheerleader I bought.
Bretonians are always good. They're superior race in faction.
A full stadium. Well, I mean, for a Blood Bowl board, well, that's the whole thing. If you do a custom Blood Bowl board, so you do the playing pitch, and then you have the four-piece dugouts on the two sides. And then what you could do is set up some bleachers behind them that have slots for you to put the cards for your player stats, for your player stats and for your secret weapons and all that kind of stuff in the back end of the bleachers.
That's so
cool. I mean, that's totally doable. And you dress it up to look like a full stadium. I mean, yeah. So that's, again, that's something to think about. I may have to go get my hands on a copy of the Blood Bowl board, at least see if someone, if I know, owns a copy, and see if I can at least get the measurements on it and work from there, because I could totally do that. Either that, or I guess I probably could load up just the game online. I mean, on the game on my computer, and just zoom out and measure the board, how many squares it is, because they're just squares. I mean, they're 1-inch squares.
Yeah.
So I could probably just do it that way. Oh, it's 32. Oh, so even the measuring sticks are even got to be longer now too, huh? Yeah, I might have to actually at some point. Well, now you know what, for Christmas. If y'all want to buy a big gay Christmas present, buy me a copy of Blood Bowl. There you go.
Do this.
So what's coming up? Okay, so in the next following weeks, you're going to see the detailing of the towers, and then we're going to build the gate for the gatekeep for the fortress. And then after we build the gatekeep with the working gate, that'll be openable and closable.
You gotta be careful with how wide it is then, so that you can actually fit the stuff through.
I know, because if I make this right, if the numbers I'm doing are right, they'll actually open, not swinging. They'll go tick, 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 and they'll collapse in.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I'm working on that. I'm working on a couple plans to how to do that. So there's that we're working on. And then after we do that, I'm going to do some scattered terrain to go with that fortress, so that you can build a full board worth of terrain with it. So there'll be some turrets, probably a radio tower, and probably a bunker. Probably a small forward observational bunker, and then a couple special pieces that I'm not going to give up on, because I want them to be a surprise when I release them. So,
yeah.
So I got that going on. That's going to take us probably through the end of November. At least take us through mid-November, if nothing else, but probably through the end of November. And then for December, I want to finally get my Space Wolf painting tutorial up there. So we got to get that one done for you. And now that I've got the other camera back, I can do both my Space Wolf tutorial and a Death Guard tutorial. I think doing a fuel depot to go with my oil drum, my oil drum sitting, and my chemical plant scatter terrain. I think doing a fuel depot might be a good one to do. And then yeah, the painting easy white. I think I'm going to do that like as a mini one. That might be just when I drop in the middle of the week somewhere, because my method for painting white is actually really easy. The big thing with painting white is, one, how you're priming it, and two, remembering that white isn't really white.
Yeah.
The only part of a white model that's white is just the most outer layer, the most outer highlighted edges. You're actually working in off-whites and grays. So we will definitely come back to that and how we're going to do that.
That's the PW suggestion. Okay, hi everybody. Since I'm off camera, so nobody can actually see me. Okay, Lady Dragon here. Okay, so what he's holding is actually a pot of Citadel's Uthran Gray. It is a very, very pale gray that is oftentimes used when painting white armor. It takes to other colors for its medium very well. So if you wanted to do something with a hint of a purple, you would do this, wash it with Druchii Violet, and then you would dry brush again over with this color.
Yeah. So we're gonna actually sit down. That's another thing, talking about things to come in the channel. One of the things to talk about in the channel, we're gonna start doing some live builds. It probably won't be on a regular day or a regular thing. It'll be one of those things that when I get the Lady Dragon in the lab here working on a project, or we're doing a project.
It should be actually pretty soon, because I do have my board for Armies on Parade for my Drukhari coming up to begin with. So you guys should probably start seeing me. I don't know if it'll be live, but you guys will probably get recordings of me just babbling as I'm working.
Yeah, it won't be like a point-by-point tutorial like my other ones. It'll be more like a... But we're gonna do it like, we're just gonna turn on the camera and just kind of tape and just clean small pieces out here and there of where it's redundant stuff. But not really a tutorial, but just we're doing it, so watch while we're doing it type of thing. So I think that covers everything that we wanted to talk about tonight. We're over our limit, and that's okay. I just want to make sure we talked about everything we wanted to talk about tonight. But I think doing a tutorial on white and actual how I do white, I think I should also probably do a tutorial on how I do yellow, because I know a lot of people really struggle with doing a nice sharp yellow, and I don't have that problem. My Space Wolves come out, the shoulder on my Space Wolves, I get constant comments on how gorgeous that yellow, that clean, warm yellow comes off of their shoulder pads. So we'll have to do a tutorial on that as well. So some painting tutorials. Yeah. Mike, I'm really glad you came by. I'm actually glad everybody came by. We love people come in, and again, Tuesdays are our day to just kind of talk and chat. And if I can, I might paint while I'm sitting here talking, but I kind of get too animated for that. So Tuesdays are the day we talk with our people and we talk about what's going on and what we can do, and just kind of generally chat about the hobby. And on Sundays, we get the tutorial up. And like I said, I'm thinking about, as we have more capability to do so, maybe do some mini tutorials during the week, or a couple thoughts and
Yeah.
thoughts from a dragon type thing.
I was gonna say like something I wanted to suggest like for a video like there is some people do like a GM tips thing that would be fun.
Yeah,
and like you could do videos on that. I could maybe like
yeah, certainly. I mean,
like-
building the campaign. I've got a strip for that. I mean, I've got a playlist for that, so we could definitely add some more to that.
Yeah.
So, I guess with that being said, folks, I think we got everything we're going to get, and I'm glad everybody came. Thank you so much for coming with us. Please like, subscribe, share. Throw out things to your friends. Tell other people to come. We'd love to chat with them. We'd love to hear from other people. Comment below. Spread the word. We want to hear. Remember, folks, I am planning a big giveaway when I get to 500 viewers. When I get to 500, we're going to when I get to 500, I'm going to be giving out. I've got a big bundle I'm putting together. I've got some secret old school stuff I'm throwing in there, and I guess I can talk about it now, but because I think I mentioned it on Frost and Fist on Friday. Whoever wins that 500 subscriber bundle from me, they will be getting a custom piece of terrain built by me based on what your channel is about. So, that being said, I'm Big D. Thank you from Lady Dragon, Big Ray here. And epic your board and epic your game. Your only limit is what you set on yourself. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, and y'all have a great night. We'll see you Sunday.
Night all.